by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow, and someone warm them from below till the rains come tumbling down.
Hi folks, this will be one of my last updates on the garden, if not the last update. Things are really winding down. Still harvesting the daylights out of the apples. I don't know how much apple butter I've made. I don't know if you can see them up through there. There's still a lot on here, even though lots of them have dropped. But I got probably I suppose I've got 30 something pints made so far, and I got a crock pot full right now as we speak. But today I'm going to get rid of a lot of these plants. We're making a trip down to the woodlot where I've showed you videos of, and we have a pit down there where we throw a lot of stuff in. All beans, this spinach, you know, everything that I can I'm going to feed to my chickens, the stuff that they'll eat. But we've picked all the pole beans, so these pole beans will be fed to the chickens over the next few weeks. And spinach. I'm still getting, now finally this late in the year, I'm getting tons of peppers, which is good. I just freeze them and I'll make a batch of salsa and then freeze the rest to use throughout the winter. I've got major work to do on my compost. I want to turn everything, and one last time before winter. And I cover, as you can see, these pallets, they're leaned up against the back here. I cover them in the winter, and then I cover it with plastic so that it doesn't stay soaking wet all winter. I mean, it'd be too wet. But if I reach down in here, you'll see that I'm starting to get even the stuff that I just made, you know, just recently. It's already starting to turn. So, but I want to turn everything. I'm going to take the rest of this out here, and I'll use it where I deem it's most important. This will be, you know, these are repositories for stuff that I won't deal with again until next year. You can see I've been piling all kinds of junk in here. But once I get this one empty, then it's simply a matter of I'll open them up, and I'll take everything that's in here, put it in this one. Everything that's in here, put it in this one. And then I'll leave this one empty to start all over again, and for us to put our you know, kitchen compost and whatever, you know, stuff that the chickens won't eat in there, along with manure and old leaves this fall, to get started on a whole new process. So there's quite a bit of work here, but I can do it all in a day, you know. Guys and girls, I cleaned out a bunch of stuff out of this garden. Actually, I'm having a cookout too. Got a fire going over in my fireplace over there. But, and you see, what I'll do is I'll just continue to spread grass over the whole area till finally this fall it'll be all covered. I won't rototill, I won't do anything, and that's the way it'll set all winter. But we're having a little fire, and this is Marilyn. She don't like me taking her picture. Anyway, I would like to, you know, I really know that permaculture type planting is the way to go. If I was a young man, I would build a food forest. But I don't have that option because I don't have that many years left. But so I'm trying to think, you know, how do I apply this to my gardens? How can I get that things, you know, the soil, so I don't have to disturb it? And I just can't come up with anything really. I mean, I'm too orderly. You know, I've got to be able to get as much as I can out of the small amount of space that I have, and also I don't want everything covered with weeds, and you know, to make that transition, it takes a long time. I'm just going to walk around a little while I talk. So I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place. I don't know. But anyway, I hauled a whole truckload, a big truckload of excellent plant matter that could have been, I could have run it through my chipper and composted it, but I have all kinds of compost. But things look pretty stark. I pulled everything. Those Brussels sprouts, those cabbage moths got to them so bad, you know, even with spraying them, and it's just, I didn't think I'd get much out of it, so I figured how. And like I say, it's getting cold. It's probably going to be 100 degrees this week, so I don't know. You can't count on that either. My little chicks, I had quite a problem with them the other day. I had to chase them. I couldn't find them. They were all over the neighborhood. But they're all getting quite a bit bigger. They're not out now, but I put them in with general population. I can't remember if I've already covered that in the other videos, but anyway, this is probably going to be my last garden update, and I still have all my beets are still on the ground and I still have all my dried beans across the road, and of course tomatoes, oodles of tomatoes still everywhere. But I'm going to make a sit-down video, and I'm going to discuss some of the things that I think I did wrong this year and things that I'm going to do different, and just kind of review the summer and go over some things and visit with you a little bit. I'm not done making videos, like I said in one of the last films, that I got some other ideas, but the gardens are about finished. Of course, I'll have peas coming, and you know, there's some stuff left, but it's been a good summer. I got more food than I can possibly eat till next year this time, preserved, and I'm not done yet. But anyway, I just thought I'd visit with you while I walked around, and I'm going to have myself something to eat. I'd do one more shot over here, since I'm kind of wrapping everything up. I'd forgotten a few things. What I said was saying what I had left. I got a bunch of squash left, and I got all that squash over my house. This is a row of red potatoes, white potatoes that I haven't dug yet. This ground is so hard over here, I don't know, you know, how many I'll get and how big they'll get. There's still the spinach here, which I'll feed to my chickens. And these are all the great northern beans and kidney beans and stuff that are still growing and still, you know, I'll wait till they completely dry. My peppers, they all finally grew up, and Marilyn came over yesterday and picked them all, but nice healthy plants. And I had been picking them along anyway. And these tomatoes, of course, I was wrong, you know. I got to keep better track of my plants. You know, once I get that greenhouse full and I shift them around and I do all this, it's awful easy to get to get mixed up on it, so I'm going to try to do a little better job at that. This Indian corn never grew much, but the see if I can't pull this apart. Sorry about that. And you can see that I got nice little ears. But anyway, I just thought I would add this in, since this is sort of going to be a wrap up of the garden thing. But I'll be back with different stuff, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, I was just sitting here thinking about all the things that I wanted to do this summer that I didn't do. I got everything fixed and painted except for this end, and I started on it. But once I got into it, I realized that I cannot salvage this little addition, so the footers are all caved in. Hell, there's a 5-foot hole inside there where it goes down. It's just not worth it to try to do it. I mean, I'd be better off to just build a new one. And so what I'm going to do, and I'm going to wait until the spring to do it because I just haven't got the money really. But I'm going to just tear that off and go ahead and re-stucco this into the building. Rebuild both of these windows, this one and the one on the other side. And then at some point, I'll build a little addition right here. But everything else, I got all the stucco repaired, and I got everything pretty much done. As much as I'm going to do this year, next summer I'll put a green metal roof on it and fix this end and think about doing the inside. I'm going to change the plastic on my greenhouse over there here in a couple weeks. I'll put part of that on the video. I just put my mother hen and her babies in with the big birds for the first time. And the mama is definitely on patrol, and those other chickens know not to screw with her, all those babies. But they're very inquisitive. I was gonna let them continue to run around, but yesterday they took off and went over to the next block, and Christ, it took me over an hour to find them, and they were in behind somebody's house in the bushes, and it was about 100 degrees. I tried to drive them back this way, and they wanted nothing to do with it. So I decided last night I'm not going to deal with that anymore. I mean, they just as easily could have gone over to my neighbors over here who already complained about the roosters and stuff, and they could have gotten to their garden or whatever, and I just don't need the problems. So I put them in with the general population, if you will. And they seem to be doing all right. They're curious. But anyway, sort of the end of another chapter. All right, I'll see you guys later. We got a problem. I'm going to get in there and kick the shit out of that goddamn big bastard very quickly. Knock it off! The hen fought back quite a bit at first, but I don't know. They're cowering away now.